People in your 30s, what advice would you give your 15-year-old self? Story 1. Think long-term. Right now is the investment phase of your life. The more you invest in yourself now, the more it will pay out later. Invest in your education and health. Get that degree. Create those healthy eating and exercise habits. Sure, you might not have as much fun as those people who aren't investing in these things, but they will not be having fun later in life. You will. Story 2. Give a trade skill more thought. Look into starting your own business because you will dislike micromanagement and listening to stupid people who don't know anything. Invest in Bitcoin now and get mom to invest a little too. Invest in other stocks even though the economy is bad. The world is going to go to shoot in 2020, so start saving for a house now. Try to help your family get control of their health since ones who you don't expect will die sooner than they should. Story 3. Echoing the care less about others' opinions, I'd also say care less about things that don't matter in addition. These are typically things that feel bad in the moment. For me growing up, it was predominantly in my own head of what ifs. What if she rejects me if I approach? What if this backfires? And don't look for excuses to not do something. Do the thing and let what happens happen. Set up financial investing as early as possible and try to always be contributing to it. Don't kick the can down the road. Start the good habit early. Put as much as you can to it. Do not touch it unless you absolutely have to. Let your money work for you. This can help put you in a better financial state in your mid to late 20s, which makes the decisions you have to make then more fun. When you get into career, etc., and 401k becomes a thing, try and max this out as much as you're allowed if you can afford it. Finally, appreciate the moments you're in. You don't get to go back. One day it is the last day you are out playing with your friends, and you never realize it. As you get older and life moves forwards more and more, things replace the playing with your friends. Story 4. Put at least 10 of any amount of money you earn away into a savings account, or better yet, a tax-free savings account to invest. Do it the moment you receive the cash and don't even think about it. Doing it now at 32, and it's changed my entire life. I can't imagine if I'd done this when I'd started earning my first bits of cash. Flip. Story 5. Going to go against all this generic jerk advice. Is there a lifelong skill you want to master, like playing the guitar or getting good enough at drawing to maybe create your own manga? This is absolutely the time to lock it. Some will say it takes 10,000 hours to master something, but I've discovered a secret. It really only takes about 500,000 hours to fool 90 of people that you are good. So if you draw or practice guitar 3 hours a night during summer and at least 1 hour a night during the school nights, you will be almost professional level by the time you graduate. I have a family and a full-time job, and I kick myself for all the time I spent watching stupid memes before I took a real interest in improving. Not saying you can't doom scroll, but just commit to 1 or 2 hours a night. You'll be a darn master by the time you get to my age, early 30s. Story 6. I love time travel stories, so I'm torn between A, here are the people who will still be here in the future. Stop wasting time on others. B, here are the people who will fade away from your life or who will hurt you or who will become assholes. Try to prevent that from happening. Story 7. Enjoy it while it lasts. Most lives get real hard as it goes on. Also spend time with your family. Sooner or later, they start disappearing one at a time, and knowing you will never get the chance now to spend the time with them you should have is heartbreaking. Story 8. Journal a bit about each day. You don't have to go into grave detail about your feelings. Include the weather. You will really appreciate being able to look back and see what you did on a certain day X years ago. And it will help break up your days so you don't wake up one day and go, the last 4 years have been one big blur. What did I even do? Lean into things that interest you. A lot of people are trying to seem interesting. You only are when you are 1, interested in the world around you, and 2, have things that interest and fascinate you outside of what is trendy. Learn how to do random stuff while you have more free time. Crochet while you watch TV. Get through a whole learn how to draw book. You'll appreciate having little hobbies when you're older and busier and trying to connect with others. It will help you live life more actively versus living life in your head. Realize how beautiful you are, how unique, and that you will never be this young again. It's not some rite of passage to dislike yourself. Get 8 hours of sleep. I'm so serious. Take care of your teeth. Learn how to floss correctly. Learn about politics and geography more, the basics. Truly learn about what decentering men is. Read some books on it. Stick to this. Think about this. Think about what you learn as you go through your day and keep a notes tab. It will make you more attentive to those cool little lessons that pop up throughout the day, and I can look back at them periodically. Life isn't a dress rehearsal. You have ADHD? Please get an assessment And don't try 8 depression anxiety meds that won't work. Also, you aren't aching for that man. It's just limerence. Let people love and show up for you. I know it's scary because of all of the childhood trauma, but some people out there truly just want to support you. Story 9. Go to college for something else. I went to school to be a teacher. Student taught in 2018 at my old high school. Loved teaching itself, but all the passion I had for it was brutalized and buried by the other teachers. So many teachers genuinely dislike their job and their students. I was having lunch with the English department, who collectively inspired me to become an English teacher, and all of them just talk their students constantly. There are some amazing teachers out there, but they are fewer and far between than I'd realized. I don't regret not becoming a teacher. I dodged the COVID fiasco, but I'm prepping to go back to a tech school for something else, and I wish I could have just avoided all of that and kept the image of my old teachers I had in my head. Story 10. Don't be so worried about what you think you're supposed to do. Don't be so worried about what other people might think of you. There's lots of time to figure your life out, and you're not going to get it right anyway. Save as much as you can. Stop spending money on material things. Spend it on experiences, travel. Go to school overseas. Don't worry about what other people think. Learn to budget and stick to it. Your health is more important than you think. Get in shape. Quit eating garbage. Learn to cook. Give your dad a big hug every day and cherish it. I know you don't agree with him on most things, but he's a better guy than you know. Story 11. Avoid any relative or schoolmate that makes you uncomfortable. Cut him out of your life. Don't give in to emotional blackmail. Focus on achieving something before you turn 25. That's hard work, but it will give you a sense of self-worth, confidence, and inner satisfaction. Financial independence works wonders for your dignity. Spend the minimum time on dating, etc. Know that intimacy isn't everything in life. Marry carefully if you must. Get a prenup agreement. Divorce can be very messy. It is usually. Story 12. As a 15-year-old, I chewed the tobacco, smoked cigarettes, and drank adult beverage like it was a part-time job and I was a dedicated employee. I had a girlfriend that was the world to me, and I thought we would be together forever. What would I tell that guy? Stop the tobacco right now. All uses, all ways. It's gross and it's not fun being a slave to a substance. Start drinking in moderation. You actually aren't cooler when you drink, and people don't like you more. That girl will leave you over something petty, and you will find better and marry her within 10 years. Try harder in school. You don't need to be A's or even B's, but C's get degrees. Aim for A, but be happy if you end up a C. Enjoy hockey as long as you can. Within 18 months, it is going to be taken from you in a very brutal way. You will fill the hole it leaves. Be kind to everyone everywhere you go. You never know the lasting impact it will hold, and you will learn firsthand as you grow up. Stretch. Just stretch your body as often as you can. Scott will always be there. Don't ever doubt him. Green Stuff is a great girl to have you over for a visit, but don't let her move into your house. It will ruin some relationships. Your dad is going to die first. It will be devastating, but you will grow from it. Go hug your sister. You two are close now. You won't be much longer. Ask everybody every question you can think of when you think of it. Don't worry about their reaction. You can't control others' responses or reactions. Only the way you deliver the message. A question unasked and unanswered creates problems. Story 13. I know you love your grandpa dearly, care about him, but please listen to your godparents. Go off to college. Don't stay local. Come back during the summers and breaks. You will have a place to crash at. You will have a home to come back to. Not your home you're currently living in, but one where it's more stable and safe. Your godparents' house. Keep those grades up and apply for those colleges people told you that you can't when time comes. Also, everyone is immensely stupid in 15 years. So cherish the memes common sense from those around you while it lasts. Story 14. Stop drinking soda. Adults in day-to-day positions of authority usually deserve as much compassion as your peers. They are just imperfect people too. Stop drinking soda. You will not find your soulmate in the next 5 years. Enjoy the connections you make, but don't use them as the foundation for your identity. Stop drinking soda. Story 15. Stop trying to impress the wrong people. You can literally learn and do anything. People aren't blessed with an ability to do things. They learn them, and you can too. You don't have to drink to fit into social situations. The easiest out is no thanks. No takes more courage than yes. No is empowering. No retains control. Story 16. Everyone that wants you to sacrifice yourself for them and they imply they will totally return the favor, won't. Do things for yourself. Work out, get your own room, get a part-time job, learn to drive, ask people out, and learn to live alone without relying on others. Story 17. Stop wasting time paying attention to school. Society simply doesn't care if you are knowledgeable or know how to do things. The only thing that society values is having friends that can nepotistically refer you to other opportunities. This is the only way to get a new job or to make anything more than situational friends, e.g., oh, I see that person at the gym, or have any kind of meaning in life. Story 18. Don't worry about preparing yourself for college. Become as educated as you can without that as your goal. You won't end up being able to afford it anyway, and it is a waste of time. You will end up being way smarter, more effective, and more skilled than your college-educated peers because you will end up having to get entry LVL positions in whatever you're interested in and work your way up. Plus, you will get to 30 and be debt-free with a house, land, and a family. Don't stress. Don't beat yourself up. You don't need that degree. Story 19. I have nothing good to say to him. Nothing but bad news. Everything I could say would just make life even more unbearable to him, and he can't take it yet. Let him believe that he will go through life without wanting to end his life for another 10 years. Story 20. Don't think you're going to get the things your friends get like love, etc. You might not ever know what being loved even feels like, but it doesn't mean you don't deserve it. If you don't get it, it's just because some people, I guess, are put into the group and they just never get it. Story 21. Just be you. What everyone thinks of you doesn't matter, so don't pretend to be something to make others like you. Also, that Alice chick isn't worth crushing on. She was a hoe. You missed your chance with Jasmine from gym class when she used to pick on us, but she always liked hanging around you, and you broke her heart when you told her you liked someone else. She's a real baddie with a good jerk job now and a family. That could have been you. Story 22. At this point, your best ability will be flexibility. If you aren't ready to change with the times, and I mean quickly, you will suffer. The tides are changing, whether it is the American collapse or what, since the early 2000s shoot has not been the same as it was for me growing up. And I know a lot of generations prior told me this, but it has never been as evident as it is now that what they were selling as an American dream is a corpse. Story 23. When I got married at 36, I invited 3 people, aside from family, who I knew before college. All of them, coincidentally, I met in 10th grade. Think about that. If you're in high school, the odds of any of these people being a major part of your life in 15, 20 years is very low, especially if you move away for college or anything other reason. Story 24. It won't get better until you make it better. I threw away so many chances for a stable future because I was sure I wouldn't have one. I'm turning 30 in a month and now have a 5-year-old. My life could have been a lot easier if I gave myself a chance from the jump. Story 25. Your health is going to get really rough, even though you're doing everything right. Put your head down, focus on the goal, and push through it. Try new things. You will be okay. I give you advice on what to do to avoid it, but you won't believe me anyway. I'm sorry, but you'll have to learn it the hard way. Story 26. I misread the prompt and totally thought this said to tell my 15-year-old son, 1, drinking. Please don't drink yet, but if you do, have 1 alcoholic drink per hour and have a full glass of water before you have another one. Go low and slow to see how it affects you before you have more. 2, please don't smoke pot yet, but if you do, have 1 hit. Wait at least 10-15 minutes to see how it affects you before you go back for more. Go low and slow. 3, do not use vapes, period. Learn about popcorn lung. If someone offers you THC in a vape, tell them you don't vape, but J's or blunts you will consider. 4, an edible can take up to an hour or 2 to kick in. Therefore, stay away from edibles. 5, if you need to get out of a situation you are uncomfortable with, send me a text that says, "Geez, Mom." I will call you yelling at you and come pick you up. Just explain your mom is crazy and you forgot to do something. 6, treat your body like the temple it is. If you feel uncomfortable going forward, intimacy, say no. No means no for guys too. You're not a wuss for not being into it. 7, use protection if you venture that far intimacy. If you can't come with a condom on, you're not horny enough to be doing the deed, my man. 8, if someone says no or acts reticent in any intimacy situation, do not go forward. Stop everything immediately. The only yes you accept is an enthusiastic yes. That's it. 9, know what emergencies look like. Can call 911 for them before you call me. I saved lives that way when I was your age. 10, avoid fistfights at all costs. However, if you find yourself in one, you fight to win. Every fight is a life-in-passing situation. I've lost friends this way to foster fights. Story 27. Wear your sunscreen. Leave your beautiful natural hair alone and don't bleach it to within an inch of its life. You don't need permission from gatekeeping teenagers to write, draw, take pictures, and otherwise express your creativity. That interview for the school newspaper, where they made you sing a song in front of a room full of older high school kids and no adults, was total bullshit. You can totally say, "I'm not doing that," and walk out. Story 28. It's easier to not gain weight than to lose it. Walk daily and watch calories. 99 of other diet tips are just favras or other ways to approach the basic math. But if you do those two things, it will be better than trying to fix it later in life. Also, being scared to do something doesn't mean don't do it. It can just mean you are uncomfortable, and that is where you can find it a lot about yourself and others. Story 29. Don't study too hard. Just be a kid. It's not your responsibility to be the breadwinner of the family. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just chill. Don't be sad about family stuff. Your brother is fudge up because of your mother, but she's manipulating you into thinking it is all your father's fault. So don't give a fudge about your mother's words and opinions, all lies and manipulations. Story 30. You don't know what the world will look like in 5, 10, 15 years, but if you continuously learn, even a little bit every day, you will over time accrue knowledge that will keep you viable. Story 31. In 50 Cent, best advice I can give is start a money stash. Money and savings and a stash at home safe. Jay, earlier, you start the better. It's tough to make it nowadays. Always have some money to fall on. Even if it's only 10 a week, learning how to save and invest money early on is key to financial success. Story 32. You can say no anytime you want. You can change anytime you want. People thinking they need you in their life don't get to make that decision for you. Breaking up isn't a conversation unless you want it to be. Otherwise, make your choice and stick with it. Story 33. 100-month into a retirement plan. If you start early, it will really add up. May not apply to people who are 15 now, because what the world will be like in 2080 when they are 70 is anyone's guess. But if we're talking about when I was 15 back then, it would have been good advice. Story 34. Ask about other job fields that don't get talked about. If I had known about my current career when I was in HS, it would have changed my entire life path. There's more than lawyer, doctor, finance, and engineering that offer great, meaningful careers with good salaries. Story 35. Care less what people think. Try things to see what I liked and enjoyed. Make deeper connections because it's harder the older you get. Start investing as soon as possible because it really is the only unlock to not caring about retirement and leaving the workforce early. Story 36. Well, I did pretty much everything right by saving up fudge tons of money, living frugally, and retiring mid-20s until I started helping my mom, a gambling addict. So yeah, save up and don't bother with people's financial struggles. They're drowning for a reason and will pull you with them, even if you're rich enough to split the Red Sea. Story 37. If one thing it would be, start saving up. Don't let it for tomorrow. Start today. Pay the first course on finances you can find and follow it. Invest your money. Learn how to buy smart, how to invest. Basically, educate yourself financially. Also, learn about emotional intelligence. Learn what emotions are, what it means when you feel a certain emotion. These two things will set you up far ahead, and you'll be farther than most people in their 30s just by doing that and starting now. Story 38. Stop caring what other people think of you and choose the path you want to go on, even if it makes your family upset. Better to try and fail than become a 30-year-old who is too afraid to take risks. Also, if someone asks you if you want to try hookah, say no. If you try it, you're going to love it, and it'll become your default vice. Story 39. Pay attention who your friends are. Most people your age aren't intentional about making friends and just end with whoever. Be intentional about making friends with the sort of people you can truly trust, people you want to be like. Also, pick one good thing and stick with it for a few years. Several decades, one of the skills that's helped in so many jobs is the Excel I had to learn in high school. It can be anything. It can be fun, but hopefully also practical, useful. Go work after school in some places that you interest you. Tell them you're highly motivated and stick with it. I have a buddy that got great metalwork skills that way, and another that got great woodworking skills that way. I convinced a computer shop manager to hire me for babysitting wages. There's a million options. Pick one. Stick with it at least a year. Story 40. Dad isn't going to die for another 20 years, so stop hanging around your hometown waiting to take care of mom. Also, the ways that he makes you feel are real and worth taking action against. Stop undervaluing yourself and your ideas just because you're young. Most of your ideas turn out to be good and generally correct as long as you go forth with some work ethic. Don't let their discouraging attitude affect your enthusiasm. Be who you know you are inside rather than who people tell you that you are. Story 41. Don't count on having it all figured out when you're older. Even people who look like they've got it all figured out are often suffering in their own ways. That epiphany you're assuming will come to you and tell you how to live your life, it ain't gonna happen. No substances will reveal it to you. No long solo hikes on mountains. No camping in the jungle or sitting on stranded beaches or staring up at the stars or books or jobs or people will ever scratch that itch that's bothering you. So appreciate those moments for what they are and don't focus so much on trying to find answers. Accept that uncertainty is okay, that there might never be an answer, and be easier on yourself. You don't need to have a burning passion or some grand purpose in order to enjoy your life. It'll save you a lot of suffering in your 20s if you can let go of the image of who you thought you'd be by then and just appreciate the amazing experiences you've had. Story 42. Get over yourself and just do what needs to be done. It's not about appearances and material possessions. It's about establishing who you want to be and making it happen. P.S. Also, at one point, you're going to lose the ability to read and start having seizures. Don't be such a meanie about it. Do the work, accept the changes. It'll get better much quicker with less damage. Story 43. My 30-year-old self was not financially mature enough to give my 15-year-old self any advice. My 40-year-old self would say save for retirement. Even just a small amount compounds and makes a difference. And when you get a raise, give your savings a raise too. Invest in growth index funds and SP 500 index. Let bad times roll because it always comes back. You don't lose money unless you sell low. Just let it ride. I started way too late at 37, but I was still able to retire at 64 and ride out a year of no income and paying for insurance before I filed for Medicare and SS at 65. Story 44. Any advice I was given at 15 was ignored except how to get closer to girls. I have received good advice from smart, hardworking people and didn't implement much of it until much later in life. Best advice for a 15-year-old is how to navigate to 18. Junior high and high school will have a lasting impression on your life, but don't let it define your life. Interests and priorities will change. You will make new friends and some will move outside of your life. What you want today, you may not want tomorrow. It's okay to change how you feel, who love, and what you want for your future. Nobody is the same person that they were at 15 when they become 20, and they are not the same at 30. You just adjust to your life and your surroundings to make the most of it because you only get to do it once, and regret can leave scars that seem to never heal. Story 45. Your dad is going to steal your identity while you're in the Army, default on a $35K loan in your name, then give creditors your home address. Don't listen to the lies or excuses he gives you. Take his jerk to court. It will not get better. If you don't, you won't qualify for a loan until you're 35. Story 46. 1. Don't listen to anyone who isn't successful. 2. Don't be a perfectionist. Just take action. A big amount of effort is more important than a small amount of perfect effort. 3. Do courses. A lot of them. 4. Once you manage to move to a good area, never move back to the ghetto, even if you have to sell your soul for it. The cheaper costs of living in the ghetto aren't worth your mental health. 5. Be with as many girls as possible in your teen years. You will regret not having done that when you find the woman you want to marry, but still feel like experimenting your intimacy life. Story 47. Pawn your possessions, beg for money, do whatever you can to buy as much Bitcoin in 4 years as you can. Take the codes to your wallet and put them in a Ziploc bag in the waterproof pocket of your quad and forget about them. You will thank me in 10 years. Story 48. 1. That you should get a job right after college and focus on increasing earnings. Don't chase building startup. It's tough. First, learn the game. 2. Learn to be financially and mentally independent and don't be dependent on your parents. 3. Don't take supplements. They are substances and destroy your health. 4. Have a daily healthy routine. Story 49. Stay healthy, mentally, financially, socially. Make a system to have savings and earn interest. Set aside stupid money for benders and dumb shoot, but compound interest is our friend. Stay active physically with something. Brush your darn teeth. Find a career you can enjoy that allows time for a personal life and hobbies. Grind culture and all that shoot is fake. I wish I could go back to my dumb corporate job from my 20s and have done my hobbies on the side. That being said, find a skill set you can expand, trade, something. Making dumb leaps is okay, but be fudge. Sure, you're making enough off of it before you leap. Regret past 30 is a thing you won't enjoy. No matter the follow your dreams, folks who seem to only spout that shoot when they are selling a course. Certainly follow them, but not at the cost of your stability. And that word itself isn't scary. You can have all the cool shoot and do the traveling without the malarkey. Story 50. I wouldn't have listened to any real advice. I'd probably just say you're autistic and traumatized from the abuse. Here's the name of the therapist that isn't useless like all the others have been. And hope it helps XD. Cause sure, I could say, don't waste the next 10 years on this jerk. Don't drink, don't smoke. You're going to survive past 18 and future happy. You is going to dislike you for damaging the body. So fudge much. But let's be real. People said it and I didn't listen. Story 51. When I first got my glasses at 15 because I could not distance things clearly, my optometrist said, when you are doing close-up work, take you glasses off and you will have no issues seeing close things later in life. Well, at 71 years old, I can see clearly things close-up without any glasses at all. As Mashy Phone Tech and I deal with small things every day. Everyone else I know at my age needs glasses for close-up work. Not me, thanks to me actually listening to my optometrist at the age of 15. Story 52. Write this down because it'll be a few years. Don't let your roommate spend 5 Bitcoin on a Domino's pizza in 2010. Just give him the 450. When he dies in a car crash in 2016, he leaves everything to you. Oh yeah, that's a rough one too. Pills don't make the pain go away. Trust me. Better yet, when he leaves to go home for Christmas in 2016, stall him for like 30 seconds and he won't be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Story 53. If a girl sends you pictures of her, in different situations, she likes you. Post gym selfie. I'm going on a date. What do you think? Pic bathroom stall selfie. Body pic for dresses. She likes you. Make a move. Also extra points. If she dresses up for you in lingerie, she really likes you. Story 54. Get your license at 16 like everybody else. Don't wait till you're 29. All that anxiety you have about hitting a car, hitting and eliminate someone and everything else, it's not going to happen. You'll be okay. Driving is fun and easy once you get the hang of it. Get your license and be free. Story 55. Don't bother dating. Work in the summer, invest. Figure out what you really want to do. Surround yourself with positive, successful people. You become the average of the 5 people you hang around most. You will find more support from strangers than friends and family when pursuing something that will benefit yourself. Story 56. Don't change who you are to make people like you. Find out who you are, and people worth your time will gravitate towards you. The hardest part of being a teenager, young adult, is finding out who you are and what you actually like. Don't let other people's perceptions sculpt your journey. Story 57. I got into Bitcoin around that age, so back up your Bitcoin wallet. Don't pirate the next Harry Potter movie. It's actually ransomware. Back up your altcoin wallets. Sell the $3,000 in Bank America stock to pay off your credit card instead of the Bitcoin. Story 58. Believe in yourself more often and follow a path that you pick, not one that others think you must adhere to. Working for the sake of having a job is not important. Wealth for the sake of having wealth is not important. Relationships for the sake of having a relationship are not important. If you are happy doing one thing, think about how you can build upon that thing. Do not aim for living off that thing or making that thing into something that others would look up to. Make it your thing. Answer, yup, I let the adults in my life choose my career path for me because the stuff I was interested in wasn't seen as things that would be able to be transposed into a job. Spent my early adulthood trying to sand off my edges to fit square peg into round hole. They had good intentions, but I sacrificed doing what I love on the altar of having a good career. Joke's on them, I do blue-collar work now. Story 59. Do whatever the hell you want. Grades don't matter like you think. You won't be homeless for getting a C. It's okay to be different. I'm sorry for the pain and betrayal you're going to go through. You did the best with it you could. Find a way to put a lock on your door. Story 60. 1. Foda-se todo mundo. 2. Ninguém seu amigo. Se faz de doido. Não compra o barulho de ninguém. A melhor sada. 4. Tudo vai passar. 5. Não gaste alegrimas ao sair da escola. 15 anos depois, vó não vai lembrar do nome de metade 6. Sua família não perfeita. E Jori existiam merdas antes de você existir. Vok não veio e não tem o poder de consertar nada e nem nenhum 7. Você vai perder pessoas, inclusive a si mesmo. Procure se reencontrar. 8. Tudo tem jeito, menos a morte. 9. Seja leve, intensidade no algo a se orgulhar. Você vai ter risco de ter um AVC aos 19 e 10. Não se exponha. Não fale demais. Não conte sua vida. A maioria das pessoas. Answer 1. Fudge everyone. Nobody is your friend. Play dumb. Don't buy into anyone's hype. It's the best way out. All things pass. Don't waste tears when you leave school. 15 years later, you won't remember half the names. Your family isn't perfect, and there were problems before you existed. You weren't born, and you don't have the power to fix anything or anyone. You will lose people, including yourself. Try to rediscover yourself. Everything has a solution except passing 9. Be light. Intensity isn't something to be proud of. You'll only risk having a stroke at 1910. Don't expose yourself. Don't talk too much. Don't tell your life story to most people. Story 61. Hard truth. Go into money. Get a job where the money is. Fudge what everyone else says. I don't care how smart and hardworking you are. That bio degree isn't going to help. That PhD or MD isn't worth it. Those respectable jobs they tell you to go for as a straight A student will suck the life out of you for nothing in return. They are lying to you. All the value you create will be taken by the CEOs and the salesmen every time. Not you. You get what they decide to give you. You beg for funding so they can sell your hard work and what you develop without having to lift a finger. There is no honor in breaking your back being a scientist in a world that dislikes STEM and values dollars over development. No matter how hard you work or how much you make, the suits will take home more than the lab coats every single time. Story 62. Exercise. Cut down on processed foods and learn to cook. Cut down on sodas, coffee, caffeine, sugar. Eat the rainbow. The more colorful your foods, the more nutrients you are getting. Variety is the spice of life. Move your body and learn to clean repair items. Don't brush off weird things that happen in your body. Investigate. When you have money, pretend you don't. Save. Story 63. Not that I would listen, but stop focusing on girls so hard. They'll come eventually. Lamau, it doesn't matter. Also, for the love of God, no, you're not going to be a famous musician just because your story is similar to your heroes. No, construction isn't a viable alternative to college. Just go to school. Also, stop hanging out with the punk rock kids just because they smoke and drink and you want to be rebellious. Just for the love of God, be smart about your next 4 years of life. Story 64. This is asked so many times. The answer is nothing. I would not have listened. I was surrounded by hundreds of years of experience, parents, grandparents, and so on, and did not listen to a single one. What makes you think I would have listened to a stranger? Story 65. Your mom is an anxious person, great person, but has more anxiety than you realize right now that makes you overly cautious and very risk adverse. Now, that's not always a bad thing, but you should know that so you can learn to separate her opinions, for lack of a better term, from yours. Story 66. That girl you like who sits next to you in class is trying to flirt with you. Talk to her. Don't join the military. Free college wasn't worth the years of your life or the social setbacks. Buy Bitcoin as soon as it becomes a thing and hold on to it for about 20 years. Story 67. Money isn't real, and you don't need all the things other people think they need. You're being advertised to at every facet of life. Chase happiness, not money and things. Unless that's what truly makes you happy, and only you can answer that. When you die, it's just you lying in that coffin or going into that crematorium, etc. Story 68. What's happening at home is not okay. Talk to a therapist and tell them everything. You may not realize it, but you are depressed. Work towards emancipation. Protecting yourself is not a betrayal of your family. You need to put yourself first. You deserve love, safety, and happiness. I hope someday you feel safe enough to be vulnerable, but I understand why you don't. I wouldn't want to be vulnerable if I was in your situation either. Also, don't experiment with hard substances. Stick to plant substance and adult beverage, but nothing would be best. Story 69. Take the darn comp sci test your junior year of HS instead of putting off over and over again. You accidentally will have enough credits to graduate a year early. It's the best gift mom and dad will ever give you, and you will squander it because you are too proud. I know the class is stupid. I know the exam is hilariously easy. Just take it and go off to school a year early. The friends you meet derail your entire life. Story 70. Enjoy life now because everything will change later. Children will no longer be educated by their parents. The family, mother at home taking care of everything, and father working to provide a living, will go bankrupt. The woman will be socially obliged to work outside the home, take care of the house, and if she has a child, the father will no longer have the obligation to take care of them, to teach them, and they will still complain about paying a pittance in pensions. Humor will be censored. People will have to be very careful with what they say because the next generation is crystal and they hurt for everything. Children with mental problems will be everywhere complaining about beating their mothers and teachers and class. classmates. People fighting over pet politicians. People electing convicted thief as president. Absurd taxes, broken economy. People became selfish, boring, moody. Adult illnesses, such as depression and anxiety, were present in children. Children wanting to become Therian animals. Hospitals performing intimacy, change surgery on children. A man who wants to be a princess no longer even wants to ask his wife out. They became weak like crystal. The world as you know it will end. Start therapy early. Story 71. Your anger at the world, your self-destructiveness, your bitterness towards why everything feels difficult and unattainable but easy for everyone else is because the whole family is riddled with ADHD. You did not dodge the bullet simply because you turned out intelligent. In fact, it's that very intelligence that compensates and masks it. Story 72. Assuming you're asking for more general stuff and not person-specific stuff, I try to make sure my past self knew that where you go to college doesn't really matter, so choose the cheapest option. Besides scholarships, colleges, nobody cares about your GPA after high school, just that you have a high school diploma. Similarly, nobody cares about your college, just that you have a degree. Also, follow your dreams now. For example, back then I was thinking of voice acting and frankly, adult content. I absolutely could have started doing amateur voice work and building experience. And while obviously I couldn't do much with the adult content industry as a child, I could have started working out and learning photography. Even if I didn't pursue them long term, I'd have gained skills and connections I never did IRL. Story 73. Don't trust them? Don't go to college. Stab the third brother. She is dead after 2 weeks. Blood in the water is not a hospital thing. You are fine. It's never explained. Sell 2K units at 75 EA and replace all your teeth. Don't trust him. Your computer is more important than your foot. Vision problems or diabetes? Don't eat smelt. Story 74. Drinking and substances are not worth it. Seen too many get hurt. Ignoring someone's red flag to not be lonely is not worth it. You do deserve better. Own experience. You can work multiple jobs and still have fun sometimes, but sacrifices still need to be made. Own experience. It may take way more years to get to the market level of comfortable salary, but if you hustle, it will eventually work out if you play your cards right. Own experience. Starting over from scratch is okay. Own experience. Not all friends will be around forever, and it is okay to let go of bad friends. Own experience. Using credit cards is not worth it. Know too many people in major CC debt. You won't be able to make everyone happy. Own experience. Story 75. Life isn't kind or fair, and you'll encounter many people that appear to have cheat codes for life. It's infuriating and miserable, and you have to learn to get over it. Life just isn't meant to be fun or fulfilling or interesting. It's just a huge clusterfuck of random chance. So delete social media and try to just live your life without comparing constantly. Story 76. The sooner you disassociate from the fake reality that most teens aim for, the most friends, the hottest BFR, the nicest car, the most popular person in school, etc., and really filter through who will be the select few you leave school and still will be as close with, the better. Those are the people you want to never let go of. Those are the people your kids will call auntie-uncle, even when you aren't related, the people you can talk to without feeling judgment from family. Who will be an ear when you need to vent, or lend you clothes or money when you seem to be struggling. Find your people and you will be set for life. Story 77. Transition now. Don't try to join the military to man up. It won't work and you'll destroy your psyche and knees. We do like taking care of people and be a helping hand. Our father is a male body part, and when he makes fun of us for wanting to be a nurse or a doctor, we can get good grades. Also, you have ADHD and severe depression. That affects your motivation and cognition. Moisturize. Don't smoke. It'll pay off later when you look in the mirror or go to run a mile. Also, don't try to run the entire marathon all at once. Walk, run, and sit as you need to. Just make a few steps every day. Don't blow your load all at once. Life is long. 30 isn't the end. Well, get out of the trailer park and stop just surviving. You'll begin to live. 15 was 20 years ago. It's been rough, but I am happy and better. Sooner would have been nicer, though. Story 78. If you ever end up in a position to have a group scene with your girlfriend and her best friend, but are worried that you will ruin the relationship, odds are you will break up soon anyway and won't even remember her surname 10 years later. But I'm pretty sure you'd remember having a group scene with 2 goth chicks. Story 79. Exercise is therapy. The things that feel like the end of the world now are not. For example, I dislike being a tall girl at 50 and at 30. I love it. You can make a lot of mistakes and still succeed. It's never too late. The people who are cool in high school, a lot of them are not very cool when they grow up, LOL. You are talented at something. Everyone has talents. There are places where you shine. While where you go to college is important, if you decide to go, how successful you are has a lot more to do with your people skills and your tenacity. IMO. When there is a will, there is a way. If I had started therapy in high school, I may have been better off in my 20s. Story 80. Start investing for the long term. Have fun with booze, but grow the fudge out of it in your early 20s. Stay fit. Stop giving a flying fudge about the opinions of others. Treat girls right. One day you might be a dad to a daughter. You'll fudge up. It's okay. Learn. Move on. If you know you need to apologize, you'll know. Just do it. Story 81. Don't put your own educational career-oriented goals on hold no matter what people promise you. It's best to get it done early while your brain and body is fresh. Also, you'll end up the sole breadwinner of a house while your mom does nothing with her law degree. Story 82. Go to your endo and demand a GLP-1. It doesn't matter if you're a T1D, you need it. Don't leave your drink unattended ever, even if you think you trust her. Comp sci looks great now, but tech will be a nightmare eventually. I don't care how many people are pushing you or how good you are at it. Go into engineering or botany like you wanted to. When the 2016 election rolls around, bet a crap ton of money on Trump winning. Buy Bitcoin. That story idea you have, the third one in your draft folder, finish it now. Make sure it is published before 2016 and start working harder on the first one. Don't break up with someone perfect just because you hit a small rough patch. What comes next will be infinitely worse. Story 83. Developing self-empathy, devoting time for authentic communication, and opening up about feelings is only going to go badly with your dad's side of your immediate family, and mostly just your dad. Your therapists are right. Keep working on it. Tell people how you feel when you're scared, worried, or feeling depressed and stuck. Tell your mother, of all people, never shut her out. She's the one who fully believes in you, your creative work, voices and singing, art. She's the one who has seen who you become when surrounded by interesting people and how well you thrive with general social intimacy. She's the only person who has never coerced or forced you into uncomfortable situations or traditional shoot hobbies. Story 84. Go back to therapy and actually be open about the help they want to give you. I know you don't think you need it, and for most of your life it won't. But when you hit your 30s and you get kids of your own, you will be glad you dealt with the shoot before rather than after. Story 85. Go with your gut. I know everyone wants you to do the right thing, but even now you understand that the system is fudge. Keep skating, learn more guitar, and definitely buy that van and leave at 18. I tried to stick around and be the responsible adult everyone expected of me. Life has continually lifted me a bit just to fudge me in the end. I'd have much rather lived the nomad life than re-experience the bullshit. Story 86. I have a 15-year-old nephew who's named after me. I grew up without a father, so I tell him all the things I would tell myself, such as speak up. Nobody will speak for you. Stand up straight. It's more handsome. If you don't give respect, you won't get respect. Where you spend your time and attention define you. Hug your friends more. Stuff like that. I don't know if he listens, but maybe he'll remember when he's older. Story 87. To myself, you will be okay. Actually, you will eventually be very happy. Life will be worth living one day. You deserve to eat just like everybody else does. You are good enough. Please stop being mean to yourself. Treat yourself like you treat others. There is nothing wrong with you. You have actually been a perfectly normal autistic person all along, and life will stop being so overwhelming all the time. To other 15-year-olds, I might advise them to live within your means. Most people do not do this. They buy a car, etc., before they can afford one, buy things they do not need, and then struggle to pay off credit card debt when they could be saving instead. Financial stress is bad. Savings are good. I have never been wealthy, but even when I was earning minimum wage, I was able to put some money into savings. Things that have helped me save are not drinking adult beverage, quitting smoking, quitting plant substance, riding a bike instead of owning a car, having roommates pay off half of my mortgage, even though I'd rather live alone, making my own meals instead of ordering food eating in restaurants. Have a credit balance on your credit card at all times, i.e., do not spend money that you do not have now. Interest is an evil thing. There is more interest owed in the world than there is money in the world. One of my cousins retired at 50 by working full-time as a teacher and living like a poor person, saving most of his money. I choose to work part-time forever, like my 80-year-old dad who still teaches piano a few times a week, still climbs mountains and swims across the river, etc. I am self-employed, so was able to semi-retire, chose to work part-time, by 31. I plan to still work about an hour a day when I am 70. Nobody lies on their deathbed wishing that they'd spent more time in the office. Also, love is the best thing in life. But before you go seeking it to make your life better, learn how to take care of yourself. You can't properly receive love if you do not believe you are worthy of it. The only person you are guaranteed to be with for the rest of your life is yourself. Story 88. 2 things. 1, learn to manage your emotions better, especially anger and stress. There are so many situations that were worsened only BC you let anger get in the way. And if you manage to harness it properly, you can divert your energy in different ways, such as art. Speaking of, 2, tell your dad art school is way too expensive and you prefer taking a degree in something more practical, like nursing. You can always do art anywhere and any time on your spare time and still be paid for it and feel rewarded. Younger me would probably combat me heavily on both, but I would assure him those 2 things alone would change his life for the better. Story 89. Start saving and investing early as possible. Those first few years you start working, living with your parents still, invest that money into index funds and let it sit there. Start it early. 2nd, try new things. Take some risks, explore, take opportunities that come knocking, and appreciate and live in the moment. Let the past be the past. Story 90. You are way prettier than you think you are. Dating doesn't make you better, cooler, whatever. Your mom loves you. Even if you think she doesn't get it, she is trying, but she's human too. Your friends don't deserve you. They are taking advantage of you. Please stop trying so hard to make sure people like you at all costs. Practice setting boundaries and standards for yourself. Please go to school for something moderately lucrative. Being poor sucks. Story 91. Don't smoke plant substance until you've succeeded in life. Not because it's harmful, because it's expensive. I would bluntly inform myself that the economy is never going to get better, and that investing and building that nest egg desperately needs to be my #1 priority above all else in life. Story 92. You can start investing in a Roth IRA as soon as you start earning any income. You could be wealthy by the time you're in your 30s if you just buy SP 500 tracking ETFs. With the power of the internet we have today, you can figure it out pretty fast. Internet was simply not this accessible when we were your age, and I really wish I knew this stuff. I will have to work an extra 20 years because I did to get the memo early enough. Answer. Good advice, but also, in 15 years, 100 invested in the SP 500 turns into 417. What's killer is by the time you retire, it compounds to about 11,739. That said, most people have pretty significant increases to their income by their late 20s as they become more valuable to the workforce. Your early 20s, when you're constantly broke, there's no need to stress about not saving enough money for retirement. It will be 10 times easier to save once your salary goes up, and you don't need to spend everything just to survive. Story 93. You're non-binary. That's why doing a lot of feminine things doesn't quite feel right. You'll start liking them more once you let go of the idea of being a woman. Also a lesbian, LOL. But also identifying solely as your mind backfires. Your body is important too. In a few years, wear your darn retainer and start eating healthy. It's really hard to reverse that when you're older. Also start learning French. It's hard and partially because your epilepsy affects your memory, which is why we suck at memory tests in school. But it'll only get harder, and we're going to go to university in Ottawa, and it would be really helpful. Hopefully, if we do that, we won't meet our first girlfriend who's an abusive cunt. Your stance of not caring about the opinions of people who don't know you well enough to have an informed opinion will serve you well. Stick to that. Story 94. Know what your interests are so that you know what path will you pursue in college and in your career. Learn to know yourself more to know what are you inclined to. Regretco was that I wasn't able to recognize my passion and my interests back when I was young. I am not satisfied with the career I chose. Story 95. Learn about money now? Seriously. Study the principles of financial independence, FIRE now, and learn compound interest, etc. In addition to dreaming about a meaningful career, think about semi-passive ways to diversify income early on so you don't have to worry about them for the duration of your good years. Story 96. Don't let people try to change who you are. Don't fall for the first person that acts nice to you. They may not be. Don't accept anyone speaking to you in a way that diminishes your self-esteem. Love yourself first. Just because you grew up in that household doesn't mean you have to follow the same steps. Don't ever let a man make you feel like you are the problem. Choose yourself. From 36-year-old me that is in the middle of a divorce from a cheating, mentally abusive man. Story 97. To not let fear of embarrassment or lack of motivation stop you from doing stuff. And it's also fine to end something that isn't working instead of a sunk cost fallacy that ended up costing me a lot of partied too hard time and debt. Also, you'll come out of the closet in roughly 1 to 2 years and you'll be better off for it. Story 98. M9, it probably doesn't fit, but I would say to my 2021 self that don't be afraid of being weird. You are figuring who you are in life out. Your uncomfortableness in your body isn't permanent, and it's an age that you are totally allowed to figure out who you are, even if you do embarrassing stuff. Don't be ashamed, and don't let other people bring you down. You will grow up with experience from it, with a better foundation of who you are and who you want to actually be. Story 99. You can literally do whatever you want with your life if you're willing to focus your attention on it for long enough. I'm not being sarcastic. Dream bigger than your capacity and have fun along the way. Try not to take things too seriously. Never stop playing. Never stop dreaming. It's a ride. Story 100. I would tell him, accept being different. It's hard, I know. Some people are mean to you because you're different, but that doesn't mean you're fudge up. It doesn't mean you're a problem. It doesn't mean you need to restrict yourself. You're allowed to be you. Look for those like you. Find the people who accept and love you for being yourself. Story 101. Your 30s are awesome, bro. Whatever awkward decades you have in your teens and 20s, get ironed out while you're still young enough to enjoy it. Learn not to be a stranger to the gym or faith or the local watering hole. A study recently came out on what made people popular. Is it the jocks or the nerds? Turns out, it's the people who like and are curious about others the most. Even in my late 30s, I've tried to flip a switch in my brain to just like any stranger I saw. Within this is the promise to a teenager that there are rewards in champing through life, and that even in your 30s, you can learn and grow and correct and enjoy and forgive. Finally, I tell my 15-year-old self to get over my hang-ups and go on more dates while I'm still young and hot. LOL. Story 102. You're an alcoholic. Yeah, I know you are vehemently against drinking and think people that do it to have fun are just boring and compensating for your lack of imagination. That's the way an alcoholic thinks about the world, you little idiot. Also, liking computer stuff isn't enough of a reason to go into comp sky. The adults in your life have no clue what they are talking about. They just want you to do something that is seen as respectable work. They have good intentions, but put your foot down. Go to art school. It will be just as useless as your forced Komsky associates, but at least you will love it. Story 103. Centralize yourself in your life. Do not centralize other people because ultimately you are the one that has to have your back first. You have to be solid. Don't put yourself in a situation where you don't have some sort of exit plan or a way to get out of it and still be a solid foundation. Be that a romantic relationship or not, an example of a friendship is getting a roommate and them being a nightmare. There are a lot of things you can do to help yourself in those situations. One of them is to make sure that you have a savings. So if you needed to leave, you could. Another option is when you sign a lease, make sure that you both have a separate lease. Make sure your lease has things about overnight guests and stick to them, period. You don't want your roommate's boyfriend to move in and not pay rent. Romantic relationships would be making sure that you have a way to survive if the relationship ends, be that you break up or they pass away, etc. For instance, if you own a home in your own name, don't sell it when you get into a relationship. You can always rent it out or keep it as a vacation home or something in case you separate. You don't have to rebuild that portion of your life. Or even on a smaller scale, you can do something like buying a camper travel trailer in your name where you can use it for vacations and things like that. But if you guys ever break up, you can just move into the camper and stay at an RV park. Story 104. Live your life. Your parents' expectations aren't your responsibility. Don't feel ashamed of yourself. You're a cool guy. Don't be afraid of other people and be yourself. Don't try to please everyone. Do what you like, take responsibility, and enjoy every moment. And of course, buy some Bitcoins. Story 105. Stop wasting your time trying to convince yourself you'll eventually marry a woman. Just tell mom and dad now. You're scared, but you know deep down that they're going to hug you, tell you that it's all good, and support you all the way like they always have done. In 6 years, don't speed on the B1283 thinking you're Niki Lauda. You're not, and it's really going to hurt for more than half a decade. Keep a clean sheet. Don't do the same as your friends and finance things. It just ties you down. Get on the property ladder as soon as you can and focus on that. Oh, and when you get that offer to move to Iceland, do not fudge pass it up. You're going to meet the most incredible guy on earth, and your whole life will click into place. Story 106. Be kind to yourself. Try and be conscious of how to speak to yourself in you mind. Would you say that stuff to other people? Probably not. So be kinder to yourself. I struggled with social anxiety a lot in my teens and 20s. When I finally overcame it, I realized that most people are worrying about themselves and not constantly judging you the way you judge yourself. Refer to the above. True confidence is stronger and way clearer than faked confidence. Find something that gives you confidence and build on that feeling. Confidence comes from positive feedback loops. Create good loops and your confidence will soar. Story 107. Just be fudge you. The people who cringe, laugh, or judge are not your people and do not matter in the slightest. The right people will be drawn to the real you. At 37, I'm finally learning and living this lesson, and it's like someone turned the lights on for the first time in my life. Story 108. Put any money aside you can into your savings. Open up a TFSA as soon as you turn 18. Consider opening up an FHSA only if you're looking to buy a house in 15 years. Focus on yourself and improving yourself. If romance doesn't come right away, don't force yourself to go after random people to hook up. Learn good study habits and time management. This is good for all things in life. Study a bit harder in school. I was naturally smart, but didn't apply myself enough. Be kind to others, as you never know what someone is going through. Grew up in a rich white neighborhood and definitely had to unlearn a lot of privileged ideas after meeting my now wife. Young or old, everyone has something valuable to teach you. Don't get addicted to adult content self-care. It ruins your idea of intimacy and can cause problems with ED. I don't do it often anymore, maybe once a month or two, if that. Look out for a good partner, not necessarily who you want, but who would be good for your own. Challenges you, isn't just a yes person. Has similar values, not just similar interests. Shows you a new world of culture, isn't just into the exact same things therapy. Everyone needs it. Learn how to set boundaries early on. Learn that certain childhood stuff was abusive, and learn to love yourself. Story 109. Defend free study time from compulsory education and its obtrusive bullshit. Teachers in schools themselves are mostly losers who left school to go to college to go back to school. Read social theory to understand your place in the world. Become a source of knowledge for your peers. Today, even easier with audiobooks. Story 110. Get started on becoming less dependent on your parents. Learn to cook, do laundry, and clean the house. Much easier to learn it when you have all the time in the world than try to do everything in just 2 years' time. It's a better way to spend your time learning these skills than to keep playing the same MMO game for another 5 years. Story 111. Don't get stuck with the wrong crowd. Do what you like and surround yourself with people that like you for who you are. Your relationships and friendships at this age are conjecture-based. Same school, same neighborhood, etc. Once the conjecture ends, the relationships fade. Sports is a big one. You got the time and the energy. Take care of your body. Money, don't waste it. Invest as much as you can. $100 a month in SP. $500, for example. By the age of retirement, you'll be close to 1KK. Story 112. Avoid men and get tested for autism. Poor baby girl gets taken advantage of a lot. I wish I could give my younger self a hug and tell her I love her. That chasing people who make her feel validated is deeply rooted in being loved only because she is useful. I tell her to stop being a co-parent to her disabled brother. Stop giving money to parents. Since 9 years old, she's just a child. Call Child Protective Services or speak to a teacher about it. Since I was nonverbal, write it down. Hermie's safety matters the most. I'll hold her hand and say she is beautiful. She only finds herself ugly because it's the face of her parents that neglected, abused her. She deserves to live and stop being a submissive sacrifice to others. Protect yourself. Be picky about who. Story 113. You're going to be as depressed as you are now when you are 30, so try not to concern yourself with becoming happy. Just go out and do stuff that makes other people happy. You avoided those things because you were depressed, and it didn't make a difference. So why not try it the other way around and see what happens? Story 114. Ages 15 to 25 are probably the most influential years of your life. You pick the school, study, friends, employer, habits, and maybe significant other for the rest of your life. Do these 10 years well and you are set for the 60 that follow. This is what my dad told me, and I am forever grateful. I'm turning 30 next year and have traveled the world, have the most wonderful career, house, and significant other. Was it easy? Not at all. But you either suffer by putting in the work, or you suffer by regretting not having done it at all. Story 115. Don't be afraid of failure. It may feel depressing at the time, but in the bigger picture, it is only a bump in the road to a new direction. I have failed many times. Don't worry if you're not sure what you want to do after school. If it means job hopping, so be it. If it means going to uni and not enjoying it, so be it. You will find your way in the end. Story 116. People who are intentionally cruel and go out of their way to make you feel bad, their opinions aren't worth considering. Don't put any weight to it. When people act like that, it's usually because they're self-conscious. They dislike something about themselves, and they cope with it by trying to bring people down to their level. Story 117. Talking to girls isn't nearly as scary or even as difficult as you're making it out to be in your head. I realized this far later than I should have when I was tired of being loveless. Also, you don't have to be absolutely fudge-jacked to attract attention from who you're interested in.